Hey, Camille.
Hey, Cory.
How's it going?
Good.
Monday night out in the country, little podcasting.
Well, hot July nights.
Oh, it's my favorite month. It's so many reasons why we're inside 50 days now. College football kicking off. Ugh. Fall guys coming back. See you in January.
Yeah.
But you love fall.
I do actually love fall, and I'm fine by myself for several months. It's okay. I can entertain my...
You're gonna make it, and we're gonna be empty nesters during this. This is our first craft. Really?
No, just kidding.
What are you gonna craft?
Nothing. I don't craft. I envy those that craft.
So you're gonna introduce our guest.
Yeah. President
of the fan club.
Yeah, I was worried because we usually say, "Oh, we have one listener." But if she's on our podcast, who's going to listen to this?
She can still listen.
Oh, yeah. I guess
hopefully she'll listen.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't tick her off in the next 20 to 30 minutes and she doesn't listen, and now we're down to zero.
Yeah. Speaking of fall and school, and she'll introduce herself, but we will tell, one of our first opportunities hanging out with her was at an FCCLA state.
Was I there?
Conference. You were there.
Okay.
In our group and in all the activities, there were identical twins.
Oh, geez.
You know where this is going. And I'm
about to get exposed.
We kind of split
again.
off.
I feel like there's been 4 episodes in a row I've been exposed.
And you didn't come to everything. We didn't know. It was our first time at the state thing. We didn't know exactly what we were supposed to do or how we were supposed to support, and our daughter was competing. I thought you could go watch her.
This was like 3 years ago.
Yeah. And,
it's been a while.
And, so finally, the very last ceremony, it's all over. Cory leans over to me and goes, "Wait, there's 2 of them?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "They're identical. There's 2 of them this whole time." He thought there was just one of them, but he goes, "I thought when we were riding over to that other area, wait, how did she get over here to my left?" So,
and then I would be in the elevator, and then it was crazy. I'm going crazy.
Wait,
I was actually really worried.
Did she take the stairs? How did she get down here?
I think I might have made a doctor's appointment while I was there. Hey, I got a problem. Oh. And then I looked, and there was 2 of them, and they looked exactly the same. Yep, that happened. That was me.
Do you even go here, Cory? It was funny. It was the funny. I think I might have been crying, laughing so hard that you were like, "Wait, there's 2 of them?" Yeah. I don't know where you've been for 3 days, but yes, not in our group, obviously.
Well, I felt better, and I canceled my doctor's appointment.
Good. Well, with that being said, keep things interesting.
Welcome, Kelli Park. Kelli, welcome to Barn to Boardroom. We are excited to have you. I've got to ask one question, though, right out of the gate. So I think a couple of episodes we mentioned that I subbed at a class at a high school for a couple of days, and it happened to be your class. And we just got to get the elephant out of the room right now. I need to know why I wasn't nominated and didn't win Teacher of the Year for the state of Idaho and nationally. What did I do wrong? I'm super competitive.
You are competitive. I don't think I have ever been nominated myself. I'm in the unknown classroom.
It's such a variety that I totally messed up too. What classes that you teach? I think I called it interior. I don't know, fashion. Something. So what are some of the classes that you do teach? What is your favorite?
How long have you been teaching? Hold on. Let's ask that question real quick.
Sorry. Okay. So I taught for 14 years preschool in my home while I raised my kids. And then for the last 8 years, I've been teaching in the local school district as a family and consumer science educator. And part of what I teach, and we live in such a small rural community, that the teacher before me, which happened to be my mom, wanted to add a little variety to give more electives to the students in the school district. Great. So it's not normal for a teacher to teach 6 of the 7 prep classes. I have a different class every hour. So I start off the morning teaching early childhood education, which is something that I really love and used a lot for the 14 years I was with my kids, and I love it. And then I teach a food and nutrition class. We kind of lump it under the label adult living, because along with food and nutrition, I try to teach them adult life skills like your place in the family, finances, like independent living, getting them ready to live on their own as an adult. And then after lunch, I will teach an intro to FCS class, which is we have the middle school kids come over, and I teach them a little bit about food and then a little bit of sewing. And then 6th hour, I have my FCCLA leadership class, which FCCLA stands for Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. And the leadership class is one that I've had your daughter in, and it's just a phenomenal class. It's something that they are self-driven at, so every student has projects, and we just rock and roll the whole hour long on a million different directions. And then we wrap up the day with the first semester I teach fashion and textiles. And then in the winter semester, yes, that's the one you were talking about.
That's the one I was talking about. Okay.
Fashion and textiles, which is right up his line, right?
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, yeah. And then in the spring, I will teach an interior design class.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And I love them all.
Yeah, a variety. That's very cool.
No, it is. I mean, it is a variety, and it'd be interesting to me to know how, Kelli, you can shift, because you have basically 5 minutes to change a mindset and go to a completely different subject. It's not like you're teaching math. You should get a raise. you need to make more money.
Should get a raise.
All teachers, but you should specifically get a raise. So we need to work on that, like right now. Anyway,
right.
So it's, and I'm not downplaying the math teacher or English, but you've got to switch to something completely different. How do you do that?
It is really difficult. In the morning after my early childhood classes, for example, I will teach that class. The setup of it is the first part of the semester, the first 8 weeks, I teach high school kids how to teach preschool. And then the second half of the semester, we run an 8 or 6 week occupational preschool where children from the community come into our preschool, and my students have developed lesson plans and a routine. We go through a preschool session with these kids for 6 weeks. And once that class is done, I am shot. It is exhausting because the little kids, especially when the little kids join in, they come in, it's their first time being in a school setting, and they're just high energy kids. And by the time 4th hour rolls around and I need to teach foods, I'm exhausted. It's really hard, but we just kind of take a lap around the classroom, take some deep breaths, and go for it again.
I can't even imagine all the preparation that you have to do on a daily basis of just functioning. Like, I have seen your classroom. It is very organized, and there's a cubby and a spot for everything, which is amazing. But I don't know how you keep it organized. I'm
grateful that you see it that way. Sometimes I think people see it as like a chaotic mess, and to me, it's organized chaos. Because it is, we do have a small school, and I move the furniture at least 3 times a day. Yeah. I move to set up for everything, and it's a chore, but it takes all of us. I couldn't do it without the kids jumping in and moving the desks for me, and we just have a rhythm, and it works really well.
You know what I think would be kind of tough, Kelli, is you've got a nice kitchen too. How do you not make brownies every hour?
I know that's tough. The kids are always like, they want to make cookies. They want to fall back to the good things. And sometimes, you just take the moment and you do that with them.
Right.
So that's lucky. If I am ever in a lockdown situation, we're going to survive all right.
I mean, every time I've been there, it's like, check Kelli's classroom.
Yeah.
I bet she has this.
Well, I have to tell you something that I thought was actually really cool in the couple days that I spent there, just to show the impact that you have on the students. And it's like between classes, students would come in to see Kelli, and when they saw me there, it was a sure sign of major disappointment, like I ruined their entire week. But they would come in to say hi to her real quick between classes, and like Camille said, you go into her classroom and the desks can be in a horseshoe or a circle, but just the way that it's set up, and it's very inviting. And we've joked that Kelli's our fan club president, Camille, for the podcast. But
yes, I am the fan club president.
Okay, officially.
Yes.
But one of the biggest reasons, Kelli, and we're getting ready to end season 2. You're the second to the last, and then we'll have one. But we wanted to wait and do this toward the end of season 2. You have a fan club at our house, and we've watched an impact that you've had on our daughter. And some of the things that she's been able to accomplish as she has left high school just recently and getting ready to go serve an LDS mission, which Kelli, you have 2 sons, twin boys, getting ready to leave here in the next couple weeks.
Right.
But you've had a huge impact on her. And as Camille and I sit down and we kind of inventory her and the confidence that she has to get up in front of people, and it puts me in awe that she has no problem getting up in front of 300 to 400 people and speaking. And she has that confidence, and we know for a fact that what you've done has been a direct impact. So the FCCLA program and yourself in the way you represent that, thank you. So you have a fan club here at the Meyer House. But tell us a little bit about FCCLA and what the impact you've seen that have throughout the years on young people.
Well, first of all, I want to just say thank you for that compliment. It means a lot to me and makes me reflect a lot about that first summer that I was thinking about setting up my classroom, and the vision that I had in wanting to set it up to be a safe place for all the kids that walked in every day. And that was my goal. I've had a quote hanging on my wall about being kind, and there's a couple of them that have just made an impression on my life that I try to start off and set the foundation of my classroom with every single semester. And they'll hear it every single semester they take my class. And hearing your compliment is just kind of like the Teacher of the Year award that I need to see, like I'm doing something right. Somebody's noticed and it's made an impact on their life. But my foundation also started from when my mom was in the class. I think the foundation for my FCCLA experience was I was such a shy high school student myself, and my mom had just gone into taking the position at the high school, and FCCLA was a brand new thing for her. And what she saw and witnessed, she knew it would make an impact on me as I was in with the situations that most high school kids are in. Friendships change. Finding who you are is just an up and down slippery slope in their life and through the high school years. And I'm always just seeking for the students that need me the most. And I love to stand by my door in the transition, the moving parts of the day. And I like to look kids in the eye. And when I look them in the eye, I try to say hello and say their name, because that is very important to me also. But I try to kind of just lure them into my classroom. If you can come in and see and feel what's in here, I have a place for you. And that's what FCCLA does. It is a place to provide opportunities for personal development. It's a preparation for life. And I love the values that it has. And it just sets out a really good foundation to just build these kids up when they're looking. They don't know what they're looking for, but they're searching for something to build who they are.
Yeah,
to help them reach their potential.
And potential, you nailed it. I think I did have an opportunity to volunteer this last year as a judge at the state level.
And Camille's really good at judging others.
I said, sign me up. I got to spend the day judging people
I'm
on
in.
purpose.
I want to be judgy.
Okay. But right. It was so interesting seeing the lower level kids come in, and they're nervous and they're moving their eyes around. And then you get to the upper level, those juniors and seniors, and how confident they are. And I as the judge, I wanted to go, just hang in there, you little young one. Like, you'll get there. And it's cool to see, though. It's cool to see. You can tell those that have been in it for years, and you can see the ones that are just coming in. It was pretty cool to see that, just the difference in the levels. So what an amazing program, and the dedication that you give to it, because you're the one coordinating it and leading it and telling them what to do and how to be confident and look people in the eye. And not everybody that's a leader does that to their team.
Yeah. I love just those simple things can add so much. Looking people in the eye, addressing them by name, and just, it's partly you feel so awkward when you're so shy and unsure of yourself to do that. But the more you do it, the more confidence you gain, and that will help you so much in the long run.
So, you mentioned the little things in consistency, and man, we're missing that in this world so much. In the things we do, we look for the outcomes rather than what we need to do today to get to the outcomes. One of the things that I noticed the last couple of years and be able to go watch our daughter compete is that not everybody can do it. And when you look at these schools and as they bring students, it's small numbers, because I started thinking, well, it's really hard to do. It's really intimidating. And Kelli, you and I and Camille, we all know that public speaking is if not the top fear, one of the top fears of anybody. There's things that they would rather do than speak publicly. And we watched it. We've been able to see several people that you've worked with just change. In fact, this past year, one young lady, get the highest score of any of the group at state, go on to nationals and whatnot. But what do you do when their heads are down and they're like, I can't do this, and they get upset? How do you work through that with them?
The thing that I think works a little bit more about the program is public speaking is just a part of it. It's a kind of eyes up, forget yourself, and kind of go to work. They're spotting out and looking, they're looking out for a need in the community, their life, the school, something like that they can work on and improve. And there are highs and lows with every project and everything that you go throughout life. And if somebody's got their eyes down, I always think it's a great time for them to pause. This year I adopted like a little dump it page, and they sit down and they can dump all the things that are just running through their head to a instrumental song. They just write on a paper, they fill it, a dump it page, and then they can go back and sort through what is something that to take with them, other things that they need to just drop and walk away from. But I think an important part is just the time that allows to stop and think. They, if they can write 5 thank you notes and reach beyond their own fears and worries, I think that they have eyes up to do the work. They have the eyes to see something else that they need to see, something else they need to learn, something to be ready to be taught. If they look and think about how somebody else is helping them.
Yeah, and I think, to point out too, more of what FCCLA does is that is the other things besides getting up and explaining their project or what they did, like you said, the service projects. That's what our daughter did the most of. But I judge the repurpose and reuse, and those kids have to spend that whole year making something out of something else and coming up with it. Most of them did it as a group, some did it by themselves, but there was, in their presentation, and we asked them, what didn't you like about this? There was times like, I just hated painting, or they would pick one little part out that you could tell, like you said, when they're hanging their head down or when they're like looking down, that was the tough part for them. But the program pushes you to get past that.
Right. Yeah, there's just a lot of ways for them to look outside and see, maybe it's someone else, like searching for someone else to be a part of the, maybe you need to find somebody else to come along with you and find a friend that is kind of hanging their head down too, and help them lift themselves up too, out of the whatever muck they might be in at the time, or just looking beyond just themselves.
The other thing too that I got to think, Kelly, and answer this question is, the FCCLA we'll call them kids, students, they go and they spend their year doing these things, whatnot, but that's got to have an impact on the rest of the student body, because now they come back and the things that they learn and the things about themselves and the confidence that they build, now they bring that into the hallways and they bring that into the classroom. And so I've got to think it has an impact back to the school too, as far as from a leadership standpoint, and being able to get through tough things and helping other students kind of coach them through it. Would you say that that's a true statement?
I would, and I have an example that I thought of when you were saying that. Your daughter, part of her project this last year was a tradition that was started several years ago. We call it Cougar Compliments, where we take the whole listing of students that are enrolled at our high school, and we make little cougar paws and we write their name on it, and we try to think of a very specific compliment to extend to that student. And then these cougar paws go on the wall and with a little explanation, and the students walk by, they search for their name and they look at the compliments. And I love, the last couple of years, we haven't put them as a big group. We've put them individually on each student's locker. And I've had several of the high school teachers say this is like one of our most loved traditions. And I look at it and I told your daughter, as part of the feedback on her project, think about if we hadn't done this. Like, you call the student by name and you give them a compliment and they wonder who gave it to them. And I feel like they square their shoulders. They walk a little bit higher. They might treat people differently in a better way. They might have that desire to serve and turn around and do something. One of the big things I think is important for leadership in our school is to mentor other students. And so maybe they'll do that. And that's my hope, is that they'll turn around and mentor someone else. And I think it's just so valuable that, I think the students kind of look forward to it come around. Like, I think we did it last year in November. Sometimes it's in February, but I think the kids know it's coming, and I know the teachers understand it so much, and they love to see that ripple effect of kindness go throughout the school and watch kids just act differently because of that.
Yeah, and even when we were saying that, I was even thinking it spilled over, if I remember right, to a neighboring school this year too.
Yes.
Where they went and they did it with anonymously to a school that's just up the road, if I remember right. So,
and it hit the news waves. Even I tell a story in my classroom about how your acts of kindness will ripple from the classroom down the hall, out, spread from the community across the world as our kids go out to be in places and serving missions for the next couple of years. It's going to go around the world, and someone is going to know where Firth, Idaho is just because of these kind acts that ripple around. And the project your daughter did was, caught on East Idaho News, and we got to see it, and it brought so much joy to my heart to be seen. And they didn't know who had done it. And that's the part, like, let thine alms be in secret kind of thing. But we knew, someone knew that we were doing good.
And you're right. I mean, now it's infectious. It's an act of kindness and whatnot. So I have to tell you something that I thought was cool. I was there. When I was there, it was homecoming week, actually, and so we got to see some of the. I I kind of felt like a student again, to be honest. But I mean, even
Did you get your Letterman jacket out and like try it on?
Well, it was really tight in the armpits and everywhere else. But I think they even had I think the FFA had a rodeo. We went over to the rodeo grounds, and there was steer wrestling and chicken chasing and wild steer riding, and it was cool and whatnot. But the thing too is, and we mentioned kind of how it kind of brings everything together. But I think the other thing, Kelli, that I've got to say is that this has to have an impact on the teachers as well, right? And Camille and I had an opportunity to come and spend a little time in your classroom. I think it's probably been, 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? We went and talked about no BCD and then a little bit of that. And then we came
Yes, I love that.
And then we talked, then we came back, part of Sel's project. But you could tell that the teachers and the administrators and the staff love the students. And I think, a lot of the different programs help bring all that together. But this is one that I think is kind of that unsung hero as well, too, because it's teaching leadership from the students back into the teachers as well. And they've got to love that. And so, and I tell people all the time, I guess I'm biased, but it's really cool that the teachers know your kids. And so continuing to push these programs and doing those things, I think is twofold, not just for the students, but also for the teachers. So great job.
One of it made me think of, at the beginning of the school year, the student council will always do an assembly to welcome the students back to school. And they give an opportunity for each teacher to be introduced or say a few words. And our ag teacher always stands up and says, I don't care what you do, whatever, choose something, be a part of something, find somewhere to be involved. And I love that he says that. And I wish more kids would choose FCCLA. And I think the reason they don't is because of the small school district and the size and the timing of our 4-day week. So many of our leadership activities conflict with athletic practices and games and different things like that coaches just don't want you to miss. And so that's kind of the hard punch, but I always just take confidence in the fact, like, I get the kids that need me the most, and I try to look for those. Like I said before, that I'm reaching those kids, but if they get involved with something. But I love it when they come to me and then they go to another organization, because I can see the leadership in action. Your daughter, like, I got to see her in my classroom. I got to see her use those same skills to just speak in front of the entire school as a student body president. And that just makes me feel like, I just feel like bursting inside, rock star moment, because I get to see how she's going to use this in her adult life to plan, to pursue different things in her career or, her life, anything. She's going to go so much farther because she has these foundational leadership skills to take it anywhere. And now she can address a crowd of people with lots and lots of people.
Yeah, we've always said it takes like a village to raise your kids, and I just love the impact that you've had on her. You might have already touched on it. I was going to ask what is the toughest part of trying to coordinate and organize all these activities that you do through FCCLA, or just in being a teacher in general, besides naughty kids.
Well, with FCCLA, it's kind of difficult because it requires so many hours. I don't want to downplay another organization, but sometimes when they go to competition, they can pick up the competition the night before and be able to practice it overnight and go compete in that thing. With FCCLA, as soon as the school year starts, I'm encouraging them to figure out what they want to do, because it takes hours and hours. You have to go through and thoughtfully plan your project and to get some of these projects to come together, it takes the whole entire family. And that's what FCCLA is. It's making a difference with families and the multiple roles that we play in the family. And it takes that collaboration with families, with teachers, and sometimes with the youth groups that they're involved in to get this project done. And it's amazing. I know, like with your daughter, again, like her project, looking back on her project, it took her student council avenue. It took the opportunity to work with you both and with those things that you do with leadership. The name just escaped me. I apologize. But you came and did that assembly for us, and then we did a lot of things with our FCCLA group to pull off the entire week of activities. And then from there, she creates a speech and a project board, a display board to visually show all the work that she's gone through. And it's a lot to do. And sometimes a lot to do is the turn away for kids, but sometimes those kids really want that creative outlet. Mm-hmm. They like the communication. It's practical knowledge. It's helping them prepare for careers. And when kids really get that and all those pieces lock in, they're unstoppable.
Yeah.
Well, as we kind of wrap it up, Kelli, again, thank you so much for what you do for so many. And, you know, we get to be on the winning end of it with our youngest. And it's interesting. We went and spent time. I spent time with both my girls last week. And my oldest was also involved in a similar program in high school. In fact, she was the president of it. And it wasn't easy, as well, to be part of the Future Business Leaders group of America. And I was thinking about, as we were getting ready, I knew we were going to be connecting on Monday night for this. I was thinking about, the world today and the pressures that these kids have that I didn't have. Growing up, I was like, when am I going to get a nap? Make sure my homework gets done, and what am I going to eat, and when's practice? And that was about it. And so I was, as I was sitting there spending time with both my girls that, have done amazing things, and we're so proud of both of them. But it takes those leaders. And so thank you, Kelli, for all you do for our community. Thank you for what you've done for our family. And we really appreciate you, and we want you to know that.
Well, thank you. Can I just for a minute, when I learned I was going to be on the podcast, I reached out to some of my students that have volunteered graciously to come back into the classroom to help. Because of what it has done for them, they come back and they listen and help students do their best. And I asked them for a response, and one of the gals that I reached out to said, FCCLA will always hold a special place in my heart. FCCLA became more than just a club I joined in high school to pass the time. I will always be grateful for lessons it taught me, for the people I met because of and through the program, and the confidence it gave me to always stand tall and proud. But as much as I loved FCCLA for what it's done for me, I love it even more after watching what it's been able to do for the kids in the program now. FCCLA is a place where anyone can belong, and if you will let it, it will change you for the better. So I wanted, there's more people too that once they love it and they feel that acceptance, they just want to turn around and give back with it too. I thank you for the compliments. I appreciate it so much.
Well, thanks for all your hours and late nights and bus rides. Oh, the bus rides. I don't know how you do that.
All the good times.
All the good times. And I think it's just amazing. Thank you so much. And thanks to your former students for sharing that testimonial about it. I think if people out there could know the value that it brings, the classroom would be overrun. They'd have to have 2 or 3 of you. So
you're right.
Kelli, again, thanks so much, and we appreciate you, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Well, Camille, great final guest for season 2. we love Kelli. We love their family,
Yeah.
right? We've become good friends with their family. We've talked about the impact. So punch list, so real quick. We never did get deep in me being
Yeah, wait, that just got bypassed. It was teacher of the year, of the nation, of the world, of the galaxy.
I would think 2 days of subbing would get me that.
I mean,
Where did I go wrong?
well, if you listen to Kelli talk, obviously you didn't do enough.
I believe I did.
Showing up was enough?
I believe this guy can show up and it changes a lot of things.
Okay, yeah.
For usually the worst. But, well, it was, I mean, I don't say, like, she's awesome. She's amazing.
Teachers are the unsung heroes, for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we have joked about we fully joked actually about her needing an increase, but teachers, our first responders, there's a group there that just so underpaid.
Yeah. Yeah.
What stuck out to you?
Just her passion to want to connect with people. And I think we're missing that so much in the world today, like with social media and just everything, just our distance from each other. Her passion to connect with students, with the community, in her outreach in the program, it's just amazing to me that that's in a lot of areas I think that we're lacking. I get really blindered as an accountant, like at a computer screen all day. That
No comment.
I don't want to talk to people sometimes. Just email me. Don't talk to me. Just kidding. But that does happen. You get comfortable in the non-communication of things, and it gets easier not to connect with people and look people in the eye. Mm-hmm. And I think that's my big takeaway is this week. I'm going to look more people in the eye and try to connect more with people.
I feel like you looked me in the eye. It's stern.
Like
stern.
That's I don't know.
I think my
Stern?
biggest stern.
Come on.
I think the biggest takeaway for me is that she keeps really good energy about it, and it's infectious, right? Mm-hmm. And so you talked about her ability to want to connect with everybody. Well, then she teaches her students to do the same thing, and then they go do the same thing. And we talked a lot about FCCLA, but all kidding aside, when I spent time last year in her classroom for a couple of days, I saw it in all the classes. And so, yeah, it's just amazing.
I hope all small town schools feel that way. I think we felt that way. So,
Kelli, want to thank you again for being on. Camille, July's coming to an end. We mentioned at the beginning of the show. We've got season 3 coming up. We've got an amazing guest that's going to open season 3 for us. With us, some good surprises in season 3. Lots of cool things to talk about and people to talk with. But there's a sunset about to happen. We're going to go catch it here in Southeast Idaho.
Yeah,
Enjoy them.
Enjoy those sunsets.
Hey, thanks everybody. We'll see you next time.